Welcome back, friends. Last guy friend, it's time for more Great Ace Attorney. My voice is way better today than yesterday. The smart thing to do would have been to just stop and just redo the thing the next day. Too late now, let's go. We did what we did. Let's continue on with this. It's time for deduction. Examine to begin the deduction. That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it there before, did you? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think... I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Suicide's a sad thing. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilt out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison? No! Miss Green, please! Please talk to us. Alright. Pry on the note? Can we pry yet? It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes. It may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. That's probably everything. Let's do a conversation now. Suicide, the card. 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite as so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while. So I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. This random stuff. I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought, if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. No. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection? No, none. The card. Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope or the card. Oh! It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in my hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. We know where the other part of that letter is. No, the envelope. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute! The 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Burrow Road! And 5 p.m. is precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on. Does this mean that? Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was stuck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness! So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. Oh. A mystery solved. Why was she there? I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry you have had to drag up such painful memories for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Promise us, complete strangers. Yes, don't worry. Our detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison. And I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green in St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And Mrs. Naruhodo? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamsir, Mr. Garrett's lodgings, and the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes. Will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, Barak von Zeeks. Wish every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed as a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there. Seeing my eyelids cooperate in the morning. He'll be there at the end. Well, I think we've done all we can do. That's all that's left, is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. I could have had that at the end of the last episode if it stops there. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to 6 million people. It's only 6 million? But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Zaseki's son had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn, for all of us. To be continued. Yep, there it is. It'd be weird to tack this on the end of the last episode since my voice was just different. So let's keep going here. Back in the court we go! 23rd of February at 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Ah! This is it then, Mr. Naruto. Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsume. To everything. And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mr. Sato. Suffering Saseki, felt selfishly sidelined. Ah. Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Listen to you two, chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly, you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting! What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've attained spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. Seeing this from a different angle is so weird. He's clipping through his shirt. I missed the signs, I'm afraid, somehow. You have to forgive me. And you mustn't talk of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume. That was just an example! Oh yes, there it is, inner calm. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you'd abandoned me and returned to our beautiful long-lost homeland. We've not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway, I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. We're having an insane week, right? Like, no way has this been only a week. I've actually reached an important decision today, myself. Oh, what sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. He's going home. Alright. It would seem Mr. Sholmes isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. It's a very clear message, I think, that he's overslept again. The great detective, my arch-nemesis. Long may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative. The trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. When the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Saseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape. Me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. 23rd of February, 9:40 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. It's just weird to have this case and then, like, no one mentioned it, like in the first game, right? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready. Very good, and now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Yeah. Ah, what the hell is that voice? Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words. That's a different voice. I feel obliged to say I feel especially ruthless on days when my head is sitting just right. Golly, oh well, I wonder if you could just adjust my hat for me. And please be as ruthless as you like. Thieves deserve to die if you ask me, especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all. Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this. I've got my own problems. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today. Now, Lord Von Zeeks, what can you tell us? The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea. So he does have the results. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the blackguard in the dock, pray allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on the top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. Well, the brains at the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it. Whew! No poison at all. In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him into the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation! But what? But what? As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Sasaki Natsume, is... My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. What? Yes, it's true, no poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Consul. Exactly. Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shamspeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Alright. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request. Mr. Shamspeare? Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend. Bailiff, show Mr. Shamspeare to the stand. Forsooth, nay. Mr. William Shamspeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a belly full of the foul fluid given in mine innocence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using bars of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a room full of sweet fuel given. That's right. Fellow jurors, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten. Kept all that about the ice cold's a tiny secret, did you? You should have owned up sooner. Arrest him, I say. Arrest him at once. And let him feel the sting in my tail. In her tail? Oh my god. Oh, indeed. By dint of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends. I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure. If you acknowledge wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death will be well deserved. But would it that a still greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of farther east than Verona did contrive to poison me.
Objection!
But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that. What the defense will assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspeare? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak. Very well, let the witness testify to explain his inconsistency. Tell the court, why is it that poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea? I don't know. Witness testimony, here we go. The tea inconsistency. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, there did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. When he departed by and by, I did use that tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus 'tis no surprise that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the moulds of soap. Well, we know the one with the ring is his, not Natsume's. If that was the truth, both cups would have rings in them. But only one cup has a ring, and that is Shamspeare's. The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered in my experience. Quite, otherwise it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. But no poison bottle was found at the scene. Because quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. Huh. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. By now it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused's hands. It still doesn't make sense because of the timing. Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shamspeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherefore would I lie? Verily I have no cause. I have naught to lose. Well, he wants that room. The treasure's in that room. Golly, I do declare. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Should be able to catch this contradiction before we stop. Cross-examination. Let's do some pressing. 4 presses coming up. 5 presses coming up. I understand that you are already acquainted with Mr. Natsume, is that correct? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Do I know thee, or know thee not? Methinks 'tis all I can know, that thy destiny mingles with mine. You lost me at the first thee. Zounds, sir, thou must learn the English tongue afore thou turns thy hand to lawyering. I did, but I must have missed the archaic Elizabethan lecture. Verily and in truth, 'twas a fine flavoured brew. Though a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simplest truth. Listen to Mr. Shamspeare. He seems in even better form than he was yesterday. Either that or I'm in worse form. Probably both. That fated evening, after I did dine, at Grubb's Brubbery, a local alehouse of good report, naught did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. But behold, the poison was not in the tea at first. His hopping and galloping is the weird part. Are you saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea? To have witnessed the act and then drank the tea? Thou dost describe the actions of a fool. Quite so, quite so. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Sooner would I die quenched than parched. But I have the choice. Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it? Were it not for the tea, in sooth I would sooner have died frozen than quenched or parched. Right, no ice coins means no heating. The witness had more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. Remind the court, Mr. Shamsphere, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he brought with him. With the greatest of pleasure, my liege. But the teacup Mr. Natsume drank from was found completely empty at the scene. And let's not forget the defendant's maxim. Drink tea while it's hot. I did gulp from the poisoned cup that night, and in mine agony did I writhe uncontrolled. In fits of pain I did knock the fellow's cup, and its contents spilt his blood from a gaping wound, methinks. Well, certainly 'twas after I had made the coins of ice from his tea. This is too convoluted. I don't understand how Von Zeeks is running with this. An upset cup was found on the table that the victim was slumped over. Therefore, there is no contradiction here. It's true, there was no tea left in either cup that we found at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me. We know there's a ring in one and not in the other. Yes, of course, I know what it is. It's Mr. Natsume's wise drink tea while it's hot maximum, isn't it? No, I'm not sure that's it. Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the court what it is that occupied you after your guest had left and before you drank your tea. So, okay, he's saying Natsume never drank any. He drank his later that night and then got poisoned. But used Natsume's for the, what do you call it? For the coins. That's what he's saying? Okay. Hold it! Yeah, so that you could cheat the gas company, in fact. Isn't that right? To cheat, or to die. 'Tis life's only choice. Yeesh. Faith, to cheat be the wise choice, and mine occupation be not an ugly one. Prithee, dost thou not see beauty in the simplicity of the ruse? No, I don't, and to be very sure, sir. No, I don't, and be very sure, sir. Once this trial is over, Altamont Gas will take you to task over this legal task. I shall not run, I shall not hide. Sooth to say, I have nowhere to run nor to hide. But, my lady, what wouldst thou with this pitiful player? Oh, I'll tell you what I'd like to do with you, down with the shoddy shed on your back. 'Tis time for Shakespeare. 'Tis time for a Shakespeare dance. What a harsh world we live in. The thieving of the gas was addressed in yesterday's proceedings. The prosecution calls on the defense not to muddy the waters with irrelevancy. Consider that a warning, counsel. Yes, my lord. Why am I the one in trouble here? Mr. Shamsworth, the accused, returned to his own lodgings, used his tea to make your coins. Is that correct? To cheat or to die? I did make my choice many moons ago. Hold it! If having first made your special coins, it was after 2 in the morning when you collapsed. That would mean you can't have drunk any tea yourself until around that time. Once ensnared by literary debate, naught else be found in the furrows of the mind. The debate about Romeo and Juliet, you mean? And who was the stronger of the two? Rightly did I pay no heed to the tea as I wrestled with the abominable fellow. I don't remember debates like that when I was studying. Are you suggesting that neither of you actually drank the tea whilst it was hot that evening? My lord, wouldst thou be privy to some Shakespearean wisdom? Husband, wife, and tea ought I tepid be. Ah, yes, so very true. Everyone has different preferences when it comes to tea. I think you might have interpreted that wrongly. So it's been proven that there was no poison in Saseki-san's tea. That should be hugely in our favor. But the atmosphere in this courtroom today... It feels as though everybody is against us, Mr. Naruhodo. It must be the Reaper's poison. I'm afraid that if we don't find a significant flaw in this testimony somehow, the jury will pounce and find Mr. Natsume guilty. It really feels like we've jumped into the fire here. Take a look at things. And there's this. Look at the cups. Yeah, there's no ring on the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. Present this. The cup. Objection. Yep, it's the only thing to do. He claimed that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible! How? Sharp logic? What is this? Ye dark, ye clad fiend? The two keycups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible? What difference? Look at the inside of the cups. Just here, there's a clearly visible ring. Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed, such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while. And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring. Good lord, you're right. It's completely clean. And prithee, sir, what makest thou of it? Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted. Drink tea while it's hot. That's right, yes. Considering Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well, after the several hours the tea was left standing. But, in short, Mr. Shamsphere, you clearly lied to the court. Get thee to a nunnery? Oh my god, what? Stop quoting Beethoven. Not Beethoven. Stop quoting Hamlet. There you go. Why did I say Beethoven? As a rule, I fill my hallowed chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. You might want to keep that information to yourself. Yet on occasion, tedium distracts me and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry. Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant. On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shamspeare. Yes, my liege? Though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in the accused cup. Could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Eh? Why is he feeding him? Could it be that, yes, perhaps there was some tea remaining in the small teapot left at the scene? A fact that had vanished from your memory until now? Faith, my liege, thou art a magician. For verily, 'tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes that night. What? Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked, 'twas empty. And thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection!
And you just suddenly remembered now that you made a mistake before? Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection!
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. Ah! Something's in my throat. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us two things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only. And secondly, that this spoiled cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that have bewitched this court. The prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words, the inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist. No! What does this mean then? I do declare it means there's no issue with the gas and thief's testimony. Apart from the bit about thieving gas, obviously. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear. After I did dine at Grubb's Grubbery Alehouse that night, naught did pass my lips but the black tea given me by the Japanese, whose back be stooped as low as death. And on what did you dine, sir? Why, I did partake of my favorites. A broth as wouldst be called soup, and a leaf as wouldst be called salad. As insalubrious a menu as the establishment where it was served. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment 'tis seen fit to serve a wicked thief gas. But I pray ye wise and noble fellows ne'er forget the simple truth. That be one thing, and this be another. Ah! Jurors all, your humble servant Shamspear doth entreat you. Punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. My lord! My lord. If I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I believe we may have been duped by the rotten defense lawyer. By me? I do declare you may be right. Golly, we all know the waif there was making corns of ice to keep himself warm. But his lawyer lad says if he's stealing the gas, he deserves a dose of poison, eh? He's been leading us up the garden path, that's what he's been doing. I really never said anything like that. But what we just heard from the victim there has opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time, and we won't be swayed from it. Now here we go. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman, and will duly hear the jury's findings. What? No! You can't yet. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Balls!
Guilty.
Balls!
Guilty!
Balls!
Guilty.
Really?
Guilty!
Balls.
Guilty!
That fifth guy's voice is in no way that freaking voice. Fudge! I hereby declare the jury to be in one accord. Oh, happy day! is this happening? Again! My lord, the defense asserts its right to carry out a summation examination. Whipping that out quick. Very well. The court upholds the defense's right. Typical, my learned friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. Like, why wouldn't you do a summation examination every time you're a defense lawyer? This trial will therefore enter its second summation examination immediately. Jurors, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find a defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Alright, that'll be next time. Judicial findings. Next time. The jurors' contentions. Alright, save for now. That right there is the game for now. I have fun. Hope you have fun watching. Those of us all having fun. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time.